In the news tonight, Federal Ministry of Health announces 8 new cases of coronavirus in Nigeria. Traders of non-essential commodities to benefit as state governments moves to ensure effective compliance. Plus, masks and gloves become essential commodities as demand increases. A very pleasant evening to you and many thanks for joining us on the news tonight. I am Elizabeth Omako. 8 new cases of COVID-19 have been reported in Nigeria, 7 in Lagos State and 1 in Benin State. As at 4 o'clock this Saturday evening, there are 89 confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Nigeria with 1 death. And back to Edo State. Edo State government is putting the necessary modalities in place to ensure effective compliance of a stay-at-home directive, especially for traders who deal in non-essential commodities. To this end, stakeholders are being sensitized. Deputy Governor Philip Shaibu was briefing the media after a stakeholders meeting with herbal and medical practitioners in Government House. Details of that report will be brought to you in our subsequent bulletin. The interventions announced by the federal government and state governments to curb the spread of the coronavirus pandemic include the stay-at-home order and the demand for social distancing. Obeyotoba Prasai monitored the compliance level in Benin metropolis and its effect on the social life of the city.
This is Ogbazu. It is one of the most popular recreation centers in Benin metropolis, and during the weekends, families gather here to unwind with their loved ones. But after the coronavirus pandemic, especially with confirmed cases in Edo State and neighboring states, the place is devoid of its usual activities. On ground I can only see the animals and a few staff. But I happened to come across the only visitor here at the park today. Is Yengbe Osanyede. When you come here, usually, what is the scene like at the Ogbazu on the weekend?
Yeah, it used to be busy more than this at weekends, but since this coronavirus of a thing came on board, I was surprised. I came here for visit with my children, but the numbers are few. I can say I'm just the only person at the zone now, so I'm scared. I want to go, but I really commend the federal government and the state government for their work, and I commend the citizens for abiding by the law.
Visitors' influx has actually reduced because people are obeying the stay-at-home order. So business-wise, we'll say is a bit slow. We have measures on ground. You know, we ensure that people do sanitize their hands before coming into the zoo. And even while the few ones are coming, on their way out, we equally ensure that they do repeat the same procedure.
It is a similar scene at the National Museum at the King's Square. Its doors are shut to visitors till further notice. Social events, such as funerals and weddings, have become quite rare. The only one that held at the Oedo Council Marriage Registry on a Saturday had less than 20 guests in attendance. The groom says it is in compliance with the social distancing directive.
It's because of the situation on ground. Everybody in the country know that the country is somehow, according to Edo State government order, that's why you see everywhere like this.
Religious organizations have also adopted less intimate protocols of worship. Some have understandably resorted to streaming their services online.
The church also, through media and other means, have been able and is still disseminating this message, the message of the federal government, to her parishioners to stay at home for now. Stay at home and pray. Masses have been streamed. I've said my mass this morning. I've prayed for everybody. I've also sent it via social media. A lot of persons streamed it in St. Paul's. By 12 o'clock, they streamed their masses. and people participate. So for now, we encourage our parishioners to stay at home, and a lot of them, we thank God, have really cooperated.
The government, in their wisdom, they have said that we should try not to engage in any gathering. So that's why we are complying, because engaging in a gathering, we bring a situation where many people will not be affected.
However, traffic and human movement are still considerable. This might be an indication that some people are yet to clearly understand the full gravity of the coronavirus threat and the need to comply with the various directives adopted to check the spread of the scourge. Already the disease has reportedly claimed over 20,000 lives worldwide. In Benin, Obahio Chuba Presai, NTA News.
Thank you, Obey. With the COVID-19 virus becoming alarming globally, many commercial drivers in the state still seem to be flouting government's directive on reduction of loading capacity as a way of curbing the spread of the virus in motor parks. Jude Akweke was intent to monitor commercial transportation compliance to social distancing.
This is the reality in some parts of the metropolis. The government's directive to commercial drivers to reduce their loading capacity at this critical time is not going down well with these sets of intra-city operators.
Ticket will come, make collect money, Agbe will call illegal, Agbe will collect money. The owner of the motor will go give us 7,000. Okay, we want to meet up now, call it work, go to give the Agbe money.
Now because motor will spoil for road. Now make the many past 3.
Their action is, however, against the social distancing, which medical experts have identified as one of the measures to contain the spread of the coronavirus pandemic.
This morning, me they come outside and they don't hold my motor. They send me come balance with 10,000 naira. At the end of the day, I still go balance 7,000. I don't person want to meet up with the government. No government help us. Let they talk to them. Let they first stop all those things. No, they carry the 3.
Meanwhile, the State Public Works volunteer is enlightening commercial drivers on the need to adhere to the directive.
The spread, you know how it is. It spreads like wildfire, and we already have 2 cases in Edwards today. So we want our people to maintain social distancing. The bus, 1 at the front, 2 at the back. Taxi, 1 at the front.
Some other commercial drivers are complying with the directive on reduction of loading capacity, with commuters bearing the burden of hike in transportation fare.
Now 3 passengers they carry. Come and say, oh, they carry 3 passengers because of the sickness when they're outside.
I believe it's working fine. No problem. That is okay with me.
See the way we are sitting here, but the price has inflated. But what about if the monies are not there?
As governments at all levels are intensifying efforts to contain the spread of the COVID-19 virus, it is imperative that people cooperate by adhering to stipulated preventive measures. In Benin, Jude Akweke, NTA News.
And stay talking COVID-19. We have a guest in the studio. She is Dr. Chinwe Inogbo, consultant psychiatrist, Federal Neuropsychiatric Hospital, Benin City. You're welcome, ma'am.
Thank you.
Now, as a psychiatrist, what is your take on interventions by government to contain the spread of COVID-19, particularly the stay-at-home order?
The COVID-19 or coronavirus disease, it's a global disease. It's been declared a pandemic, and the medical experts have said that the best way to curtail the spread of the virus is by ensuring social distancing. And social distancing could come in various ways. For instance, we've heard about borders being closed. We've heard about states closing their borders to people traveling from state to state. And then when you come locally, you can have social distancing by asking people to stay at home. And that is part of the measures that the government of Edo State has instituted. For curtailing the spread of the virus, it is the best way to go. However, we know that human beings are social beings. And when you say stay at home, it means you're going to cut down on their ability to socialize. In the initial period, it is a welcome idea to most persons because after the everyday hassles of trying to survive, and suddenly someone says, please don't go out, it is an opportunity to rest. It gives an opportunity to bond with family members. So in the initial period, it is a welcome experience. However, when social distancing or stay-at-home order becomes prolonged, it can have negative consequences on the health of individuals, especially the mental health of individuals. So when we talk about these consequences, the consequences can go in various ways. It could be biological, it could be a psychological consequence, and it could also be a social consequence. So in social consequences, when you say people stay at home, they don't go to work, earnings are going to be reduced, as financial capacity is going to be reduced, there's going to be stigma associated with social distancing. These individuals, when they begin to experience this, can raise some degree of anxiety, fear, depression. Abnormal coping strategies can also be utilized to cope with these stresses when they arise. So people begin to drink, and then you have people who smoke. In severe cases, you could have situations where you can have suicide or deliberate self-harm. And then individuals who already have existing mental disorders could have worsening of their illnesses, because we know that in hospitals, services are being scaled down to attend to only individuals who have severe illnesses. So these individuals, if they can't have access to their healthcare providers when necessary, there could be worsening of symptoms. Biologically, individuals could have sedentary lifestyle. We have said is not good. It's equivalent to smoking 15 cigarettes per day. So when people are staying at home, exercises may not be done. So weight gain is there, worsening of cardiovascular symptoms could occur. Even some mental illnesses could get worse, for instance, Alzheimer's disease. So these are some of the negative consequences that are associated with social isolation.
Now, you've gone through the streets of Benin. How would you appraise the level of compliance so far?
Well, in the streets of Benin, I would say that there is some degree of compliance. For instance, civil servants from level 12 and below are made to stay at home. So when you go to the ministries, you realize that these individuals are actually not at work. But when you move around the streets, you see people moving around, you see buses, you see keke napep still fully loaded, as if there were no such orders in the state. In that aspect, compliance is not yet 100%.
Now, in prevailing situation like this, confusion, fear, and anxiety are usually heightened. What do you suggest people should do at this trying moment?
There are basic things that one could do to cope in this trying period. When we know that the stay-at-home order is for our benefit, then we should accept it, whether short-term or long-term. In the long term, when the burden begins to set in, there are things we can do. One is that we must remain calm. Two is that we must stay away from social media, especially if you know that the reports that you get from the social media heighten your anxiety or the fear. If you must look through the media or through the news, focus more on the positive aspects. So when they say there are recoveries, when they say government is bringing up interventions to help curb the illness, these are information that are welcoming. These are information that can allay fears and anxiety.
Focus more on the positive aspect of COVID-19. That is coming from Dr. Chinwe Inogbo, consultant psychiatrist, Federal Neuropsychiatric Hospital, Benin City. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
You will stay on to NTA Benin News at 7. More reports coming your way after this time out. To stay on.
Next time you visit the ancient city of Benin, two things will excite you: the warmth and welcome of its people, and of course, the class and style of its hospitality business. Randeki Gold, home of hospitality like no other, located in one of the most serene environments in the ancient city, truly classy and exquisite with world-class facilities, fully equipped digital multipurpose hall with life-size, ultra-high definition LED screen, 180 square meters king-size swimming pool with bubble bath, enough to leave you breathless. The exotic Ariel's Bistro and Grill restaurant with variety of continental dishes, especially some of the rarest delicacies you can find in town. Fact is, a visit will truly convince you that we are gold. Rendeki Gold is the gold wing of the prestigious Rendeki Royal Hotel at 6 Uhenyi Street off Ihama and Boundary Roads, GRA Benin City. www.rendekihotels.com. Rendeki Gold, our hospitality is go.
My people, make una listen o. No be news again say coronavirus don enter Nigeria. Coronavirus na that bad disease from China wey dey cause fever, dry cough, sneeze, pneumonia fit enter and e dey kill. But no cause for alarm because our government dey on top of the matter. Just shine your eyes, wash your hands with soap and tap wey dey run, cover your nose and mouth if you wan cough or sneeze. No enter bus wey pass 3 people per seat. Keep good distance from people. No near person too much. No shake anybody. No hug. Government don't even plan any gathering of more than 20 people. All shops for market closed except people where they sell food, medicine, provision, fuel and other essential things. If you see as your body be, quick go hospital or call 0808 4096 723 or 0806 425 8163. My people, make una no panic, no carry rumor. Na Edo State government bring una this message.
Ogbelo 2020 don't come with ogbonge travel awufo. Muyi line, the transport company wey get everybody for mind. Say comfortable traveling no suppose tear pocket o, as awu bonanza price still dey from Benin to Lagos, mine to Yanakwaja, Yaba and Aja for just 2,500 naira. Benin to Port Harcourt 2,000 naira plus cheap awu price. So worry Bayelsa and Niger Delta routes, including Ekpoma, Auchi and Abuja. Muyi line executive charter cars like Toyota Corolla, Toyota Camry and Sienna dey to local and international airports and anywhere for Nigeria. Save money, enjoy safe and comfortable journey as this travel awoof dey till June 30th, 2020. Muyi line head office dey 169 Oselu Lagos Road, opposite Technical Junction, Benin City. Muyi line, friend of Nigeria students.
Many thanks for staying tuned. The Benin Traditional Council has dissociated itself from the fake audio news in circulation on social media. The audio clip purported that the Oba of Benin has directed that all homes should not be swept for 3 days. A statement by the Secretary to the Benin Traditional Council, Frank Irabo, wishes to make it clear that press releases and statements emanating from the palace of the Oba of Benin are issued by the Benin Traditional Council and signed by the Secretary. It warned that any statement purporting to be from the Oba of Benin outside this context should be disregarded. The statement warned all those who indulge in activities which could bring the Benin monarch into disrepute to desist from such conduct, stressing that their conduct is both repugnant to good sense of damaging of community interests. The statement inclusion advises peddlers of fake news to desist from engaging in such mischief for their own good. The demand for masks, hand gloves and hand sanitizers have continued to soar since the coronavirus pandemic crept into Nigeria. Ifeoma Okafor was in turn on a market survey of these protective items, which are now high demand.
According to medical experts, some of the ways to curb the spread of coronavirus are through the use of masks, hand gloves, and hand sanitizers. Therefore, according to the law of demand and supply, prices of these commodities have skyrocketed. Investigation on the prices in Benin Metropolis revealed that masks which were sold at 100 naira for one is now sold at between 300 naira and 500 naira depending on the type. As sellers of these items are increasing astronomically, the hike continues.
Before, when they said 15 naira, we dey buy at 350 naira. Now for pharmacy, we dey buy at 12,000 naira now. We can't dey sell one at 300.
This very hand glove I'm holding, so it was 50 naira before. Now we are selling it 100 naira. Then the full packet is 1,002 before. Now they are selling it 5,500 naira. In fact, the thing, I'm so confused.
People are appealing to the government to subsidize the price of these protective items, which will help reduce further spread of COVID-19. In Benin, Ifoma Ukafo, NTA News.
And another break is now. Stay tuned.
Signature Hotel, please until Signature Hotel. A place of hospitality in the heart of Benin City. Please and
Pleasant Hill Signature Hotel, a place of hospitality in the heart of Benin City, located at 134 Akpakpavo Road, Benin City, Edo State, or call 0528 40557 or 081 36 3908.
please until Signature Hotel. Please until Signature Hotel. A place of hospitality.
Now, safety of all our passengers be number one. We dey make sure say we use new motor and driver wey qualify carry our passengers reach where them they go.
Correct! Safety first. Safety first. Amels and Motors. Now you, Biko.
Safety and comfort come to Amels and Motors. Our head office there for number 156B, Benin Aoshi Road, Aduawa, Benin City. The part of the road for Benin, number 1 Eagle Street off Sokomba Road, by Sizzler, by Ring Road there for Benin City. Number 188 Motala Mohammed Way, Benin City. We there for number 38 Ubo Lagos Road, opposite UBTH Gate, Benin City. For Akpoma, Amels and Motors there by Beverly Hills Junction, Benin Aoshi Expressway, Akpoma. For Abraka, we there for Police Station Road Junction, Abraka Delta State. For Port Harcourt, Amels and Motors just there for number 3 Oluwa Passenger Road by RBC Motor Park, Water Lines, Port Harcourt for River State. We also there for number 190 above Port Harcourt Road by Rumola, Port Harcourt, River State. For Uyo, Amels and Motors there for number 115 Ikotek Pene Road, opposite Akwa Ibom Transport Company. Uyo, Amels and Motors as lion be king of forest. Now so Amels and Motors the king of the road. Bam.
This is not just a hotel. It's a resort, a place where luxury, class, and hospitality meets. It's not just four walls. It's a reinvention. It's an idea that relaxation should be brilliant. We offer world-class services that makes the experience unforgettable. Edo Heritage Hotel, you can't get it better.
I don't tire to dey hear my customers. They complain about my place because light no dey and the heat na die. Light matter no be problem to any business again o. Because Uyi Technical, the generator headquarters, don't give solution to every business to blow, even with the small money for your SSO pocket. Cheap so na be say I go buy one for my store and the one wey go pump water and carry our air condition for house.
Oh yes, so generator for everybody. Oh, for Uji Technical, all kind quality generator boku, from small generator go reach big package generator with original spare parts. Uji Technical, na dear 100% copper generators a day. No be aluminium, no, even grinding machine and pepper milling. Okay, Kofiara, come carry your own from the generator headquarters, 79 81 83 Mission Road for Benin City.
Many thanks for being there. Edo State government shuts down markets in the state, apart from those selling essential commodities. This is to decongest the markets, maintain social distancing to avoid the spread of the coronavirus. Joy Igbo monitored compliance with the precautionary measures by traders in various markets in town.
The ever-busy King Square was virtually empty as shops were locked. At Lagos Street and New Benin Market, the situation is still the same. Social distancing, it was observed, is not enforced as people were still close to each other. Law enforcement agents were on ground to make sure that shutdown of markets selling non-essential commodities were enforced.
You can see a lot of the shops are locked down, so we want our people to please stay indoors. We need people to stay at home so that the state government can actually fumigate. Fumigation has started.
Some traders provided their customers water for washing their hands and also sanitizers.
We contributed money on our own to do it, because if you say let's continue to wait for government or the local government, I know they will not do anything. So that is why we said let's quickly do one or two things to make sure that we put this bucket here with the water and the wash hand and sanitizer. Yes. But yes, any customers that want to buy from us will wash his or her hand before coming in. Yes, that is the reason why we'll do it.
Some traders, however, were not happy about the directive to stay at home due to its effect on them.
Government say go sit down for us. I get 7 Peking. 1 seed of rice me no get for us. I no get 1 naira. I must come out, find what them go eat. If I go serve us now, who go feed me? 1 naira I no get. I no get kobo. How will I feed them? The coronavirus no kill, I get kilo for us again. Go sit down for us, go sleep, die for us. Coronavirus no affect me, no affect my Peking. Then me can die for us because we're hungry. May government find solution to do for me, for my own, no me no. Number one I talk about.
The stay-at-home order is part of the measures put in place by government to curtail the spread of coronavirus. In Benin, Joy Egbo, NTA News.
And away from the coronavirus, the remains of the late Professor Emmanuel Emovo, the Obayagbona of Benin Kingdom, has been laid to rest in his residence in Benin City. Peter Oyibo reports that the officiating priest at the funeral, Archbishop of Benin Metropolitan See, the Most Reverend Augustine Akobeze, used the opportunity to advise Christians to dedicate themselves to God.
Burial rite at his residence had in attendance a sizable number of family members, religious leaders, chiefs, and well-wishers to pay their last respect in respect to the directive by the government to avoid large gathering. The officiating prince at the graveside, Most Reverend Augustine Akubeze, extolled the virtues of the deceased, describing him as a man of an accomplished destiny.
May his soul and the souls of all the faithful departed through the mercy of God rest in peace. Amen.
He was a gentleman, he was responsible in all his ways, a palace chief, and he worked hard for the Lord.
The wife, children, and relatives paid glowing tribute. They say he was humble and loving with a heart of generosity for humanity.
He was a wonderful husband. He was a very good husband, a friend, a lover. He was everything to me.
Very humble man, caring father. I miss my dad. Even to the outside, anyone he came across, he showed love to them. Daddy was a father in a million. Fantastic.
He never, for one day, ever was ready to compromise on anything that was wrong.
He was a father to everybody, ever ready to give you a bit of his wisdom.
The late Professor Emmanuel Emovo, who died at the age of 91, was a former Vice Chancellor of the University of Jos and a one-time Minister of Science and Technology from 1985 to 1989. In Benin, Peter Oyibo, NTA News.
May soul rest in perfect peace. And that completes our package for tonight. Do have a pleasant night. Good night.